All right, welcome back to LearnWire. So we're going to be showing you how you can create these really cool mystery puzzle books in a brand new, untapped KDP publishing niche. And I'm just going to scroll through here. You can actually see that this is kind of what it looks like, right? So case one, the swapped label is in the quiet corner. It'll explain, it'll give you a description and everything. And then it gives you these icons and everything, like kind of objects, if you will. And then you have all these characters in here and it'll just build this out. And then so you basically follow all these instructions, and then there's squares right here. So it's kind of like a puzzle Sudoku in a different way. And it challenges people to use their brain and problem solving skills, right? And then you can put in here who you think the prankster is. And then, we scroll to the bottom, it's going to actually have the answers right over here. So answer, Earl was the one, the alone, Daryl is the gear shed. So has all the answers in there as well, has a how to play, all that stuff. Like, look at this, really, really good stuff right over here. Land on the sales page and go over this, right? So you can turn a simple Whodunit. So these are called Whodunit puzzle books. These are fast and rapidly growing on Amazon right now. And if you're, in the publishing space, you know that staying ahead of the curve, with niches and the different types of books that you can create and everything, there's always going to be new things coming out, which is great. But this just gives you a chance to get in on this over the next 6 months to 12 months, get a bunch of books out there published in this, so that you can actually start earning royalties. Now, this is from Ike Paz. I'm not even going to show his profile. He's got almost 5-star rating, tens of thousands of reviews on Warrior Plus. He is one of the top 1% affiliates and vendors on the platform. So his stuff's really, really good. He partners with his software developer, Luke Bose, as well. And they have, this entire environment. They really moved everything in here to Bose Paws. So they're business partners. And, you can do all your book covers in here as well. Any of you guys that buy any of his products, that this was a really good choice. They started getting way too many softwares, and now they just built an empire and one environment where all of their software suite and tools are housed under one URL, which is great. And so you can come through here. I mean, they have still fully supported some of these older from years ago sticks. So you can go in here and still use that to create really cool stuff. So they're always staying ahead, finding out what the best niches are. And it's really, really cool. So every puzzle verified to one solution, no writing, no design skills, no plotting, 5 difficulty levels, easy to dragon level, grids 6x6 up to 16x16, sell on Amazon KDP or as printables. You can sell these on Etsy, all kinds of good places. 8 book languages, English to Polish, 2 art work packs, illustrated. And this is just the front end. Unlimited PNG exports built in, cloud-based, nothing to install, full commercial rights. So that's just the front end right there, guys, right? And they lead off tons of people making money with their products, profiting over here, even, saying, hey, yeah, we had a $462. We only profited $257 because they're probably running some ads right there, but still, and that was on Etsy right there, $300 right there. Like, people are making, there's $1,300 right there. People are making money. They definitely have the social proof and everything on here. And remember, here's the 2 guys that create this, Ike Paz and Luke Bose right over here. I'm going to go over real quick, just this little presentation I created that goes over what the front end is, right? So what is Shigai royalty? It's a build mystery, puzzle books, customize the experience, and export print-ready products for KDP, Etsy, and TBT. The mystery puzzle book engine. So this is the front end of what you get right over here. You're going to create verified single solution whodunit puzzles without guessing, customize suspects, rooms, stories, art, style, page layouts, generate beginner-friendly hints and walkthroughs for buyers, export books and printable activities for KDP, Etsy, classrooms, gifts right there. Then we're going to come over here so this is the front end right here is $19. You're going to get all of this right over here. Unlimited PNG exports plus 100 PDF exports per month. So that's an important part to note. It's not unlimited. It's 100 PDF exports per month. We'll come in here to the Royalty Pro. I don't know how to pronounce that. Shigai Pro is $57. And this is best for buy Pro if you want the product line to look more polished and appeal to more buyer types. So new variants, lying killer, and one wasn't there. Choose the culprit mode for interactive personalized gifts, 9 kid and family modes, plus a kawaii art pack, premium design, borders, frames, tints. So it just takes the software to a whole nother level. You get all the features. Floor studio with custom furniture uploads for mansion interiors, unlimited PDF exports. So this is really, if you're like serious and you really want to make some money with this, probably Royalty Pro, the one-time offer one, is going to definitely be, if you could only get one OTO, it's probably this one right here. But let's go on over here to OTO 2. It's 187. And this is the Shanghai Royalty. I'm just going to say Shanghai. I know that it's not that, but that's what I'm going to say. Shanghai Royalty Elite. You can scale into richer books, more editions, and broader publishing angles. So you get 3 more premium variants, a grand mystery, accomplices, and 3 more advanced clues, if then logic. And then you have 11 seasonal modes. And if you know anything about publishing, seasonality is like huge. If you can get series of books for Halloween, Christmas, all those, like that is huge, because you could really, if you partake in all the different holidays and so forth, seasonal trends throughout the entire year, then you basically have a nice baseline every single month, because something's going to spike because of those seasonal books that you're putting out. Large print, pocket, and black and white edition builders, world builder, storybook wizard. I'm going to be showing you the storybook wizard. So it looks like that is part of the elite version right over here. So buy elite if your goal is to build a full publishing catalog instead of a single puzzle book. And then finally, the Gen 10 royalty is the last OTO 3, and it's $47. Separate math mystery engine and education-focused publishers. So grades 1 through 6 curriculum alignment, math mystery studio. So this would be really great for TPT and Etsy and so forth. 163 total themes. Really, really good stuff right there. So that is the entire funnel. Before coming in here, we're going to go in here and we're going to just, this is where you're going to find it. You're going to launch the app. You're going to come in here. But let's go over here and show you. This is what this looks like right over here. And I just pushed the export button, and this is what the output looks like, right? It's like right over here. We're ready to rock and roll. Really, really good stuff right over here. This would take hours and hours, probably a week, multiple hours per day to actually produce something like this that I clicked a button and it created. And that's where we're at, right? With AI, it's just super, super cool. And, you know, it would be hard to, like with prompting and knowing exactly how to create this, plus the size and the interior and the bleed and all the different things that you need to know. They're taking care of all that for you and using the power of AI and creating the book, a book that looks like someone literally spent like a month to create or whatever, right? So I'm going to go back over here and I'm just going to exit out of this right here. And I'm going to go back over here, and then you would just go in here. You would launch the app right here. It's going to launch like this, and you have all kinds of, you have pages right here. You can build, individually. You can go bulk right here, and you can create bulk pages right here. But I'm going to go with this story mode right here because I think it's super, super cool. And I think that this is part of that elite version, just FYI. But you can go with a standard murder mystery. This last one I did Find the Prankster, and then I went with a summer theme, a camp theme or whatever, right? But let's go look at all these ones right over here. Really cool. Halloween's coming up. So maybe Halloween Candy Snatchers coming up right over here. We'll go like that. Then we come over here, and like the last one I did Pinewood Summer Camp, right? But maybe we want to do Pirate Treasure Island. Okay. And then you can come over here. You can say medium. Let's go make this one for like kids. We'll do 15 chapters right here, auto match the story, but you can go with all this right here. So auto match the story, or you can actually choose what kind, like what theme, Gothic, woodcut, comic adventure. I'm going to go with, let's go with steampunk. That might be really cool. And then we'll go with the classic 7x7 is what it's saying. And this is the puzzle size, right? We can go with cozy, classic, or the big one right there. We'll go with classic on this one. We'll go with color, and you can go with this. I'm going to go with the easy right there for now. So let's just say we'll see how it kind of turns out. And then let's go with the book language, English, but there you have your Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Dutch, and Polish. And then chapter, single page or 2-page. I'm going to try 2-page this time, see what that's like. And then the typography right there, we could go with just a little bit. I'm going to turn it up just one more notch right there. Catch the mystery. And then there's your page size. So it's recommended for these types of books that it's an 8.5 by 11. You have all these other things you can put up right over here as well, options, and then we can go over here. You can add your own characters, or you can let the book create the characters. I'm just going to do that. We're going to store locally right here. It does one recap summary, and then we create the story. Now watch. It literally preparing your book. 228 images will be created for this book right here. And you can see how fast it is. It's going to be done like super ridiculously fast. We have a beware of the flying clues. So we can come through here and start taking a look. So there's a blank page and then boom, and then a blank page and then boom. Okay. So that's what that means. Climb the ranks. Let's go and just, there's the case files. And then this is what it looks like, right? So we have case one. You're going to have the, you know, the puzzle, and then you're going to have all the clues right over here, which is great. So case one. So it's going to have all these people right here. So 3, 6, 7 people. So you're going to have these 2 pages. You're going to use this and you're going to use this for the clues to work off of. So when you don't select 2 pages, or maybe this is just because this is easy, on easy mode, it's going to break this down and it's going to have this split out. For every puzzle is going to take 2 pages, or maybe that's on so I can't decide if that was either because we selected easy, because this would be easier, right, to have a whole page right here for the clues and stuff, or if that's because I selected 2 page. I'm not really sure, but that's the differences right there. Okay, yeah, so this isn't a blank page every 2. So I think that it was because that 2, when you select, you want every puzzle to take up 2 pages. This is the setting. Let me know what you guys think. The other one is you have the puzzle and everything. So the puzzle's just really small. I think that this is really, really nice, especially if you had it like when you open up a page, if you had the puzzle over here and the clues on the other side, then that would be really, really nice to use it like that as well. So just depends on like what kind of style you want, or you can want to make a look kind of pocketbook, 6x9 books, then you would probably put it on 1 page and so forth like that. Maybe for older people, for teens, adults, things like that. Okay. So you have all these settings over here. I'm not going to bore you with all those, but I mean, you have large print, pocket, 6x9, black and white. Remember a lot of this, they try to tag everything. Like this is on the pro version right here. You'll have page design. You can change all that up. So they usually try to let you know what's included on each. And then you can regenerate the page. You can export this as PDF, SVG, PowerPoint, PNG. And then remember, you can come through here and you can add a page, right? So if I want to come in here, they have puzzle, they have the instructions. So if I wanted to add instructions, we would add that right here. It does add it to the end. It just kind of adds it right there. And so you're going to want to grab that wherever that's at, and you're going to want to drag it over here to the front. I really would like to see if they could. Okay, so is that the way they do it? Okay, so you just push the plus button and it's going to take us all the way up. They should have a button over here that allows us to send to front. That would be kind of nice, but this works too. So we're going to take this all the way to the front right here. No, that the green button just adds it. It just duplicates the page. So I do think that they need to somewhere over here, when you click on something, a right click or something, hover over it, or when you go to a page, we should be able to send to front or send it to a certain page, because typically it adds those pages in the middle or in the end. And I'd like to move those all the way over here. So, but here's another really cool thing. You push this pre-flight button, you want to look for green, right? But printable area, it points out the pages that something with trim or margin is happening. We have it on auto detect right there. Color over here, we can go like that. And so the legibility right there, maybe there's a little bit of error, and then copyright page, right? So if we go in here and then now we go and add a copyright page and add that page, and then, like let's just say David, hit the page, and it's going to create that copyright page right here for us. And then we go to pre-flight. Now copyright is done, right? So you want to make sure that these are all good. These orange ones might just be to be aware of. Go check those pages out, but I think that they're probably fine. Once you see all that, this is kind of a check, which is great. Then you just go over here and you export this right here, and then you get to choose right over here what you want, 300 DPI, all that, and then you have your final version that prints out like this right here. So really simple, straightforward. You can get as advanced as you want. You can create something super, super fast, or you can spend a lot of time trying to customize it, but pretty mind-blowing. If you pick this up with the first link below, let me know what you guys think. If you watch the whole thing, you type in whatever you want to pronounce this below in the comments. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.